Let me start off by saying this. While I agree 100% with her sentiments regarding the Confederate flag, I disagree 95% with the course of action Bree Newsom decided to take. Now she'll face the consequences of those actions. I say 95% disagree because 5% of me is saying, why did you do it in broad daylight when you could get caught? Yo, alright people, let's stop fooling around and be real. We all know what the Confederate flag does and does not stand for. It represents hatred, rape, kidnapping, human trafficking, crimes against humanity, assault, murder, abuse, blasphemy, heresy, and cultural genocide, to name a few things. Did you know a list of charges like that brought before a world court today would be punishable by death? This goes beyond reprehensible. This is satanic. Not only did people happily commit these atrocities, but many did it in the name of Jesus, who they didn't even know. Hey, yo, stop the music real quick. Let me burst y'all bubble right now. Nobody who participated in the institution of chattel slavery, Jim Crow, or the systematic oppression of people of color was or is saved. They do not know the Lord. They're just a bunch of people playing church. Okay, go. Let's talk about what the flag does not stand for. I don't care what nobody says. The Confederate flag does not stand for some innocuous version of Southern pride. That's what fried chicken, chopped barbecue, and SEC football is for. You move to the South for 3 reasons: good food, good football, and good HBCUs. None of these require a Confederate flag. Your pride is in the fact that so many people believe so strongly in their right to abuse other human beings that they were willing to die for it. If that ain't the most satanic anti-Christ mess, Genesis 1:26. This in that same Bible the slave owners and racists never studied. God gave man dominion over everything on earth, except other people. Fish of the sea, birds of the air, cattle, the earth, and every creepy thing on it. Human beings ain't nowhere on that list. So much for all that the Bible teaches slavery crap. Moving on. So because of what the flag represents, it doesn't belong on any government structure in a country whose motto is "In God We Trust." Now whether we mean that or not is a different story. The question arises of why the flag still flies today. The answer to that is one part ignorance and one part to remind people who look like me of where we stand on the totem pole of power. At least that's the idea. The problem with people like me is we know the blood we're washed in has greater power than any underlying racism that flag stands for. So it doesn't really scare us, it's just annoying to see. Like an ex-girlfriend or something. However, when considering the recent terror attack in Emmanuel AME, with that happening on American soil, it's time to ditch the flag. Well, how do we do that? Climbing a flagpole and removing it illegally ain't the answer, I tell you that. Matter of fact, let me address this right now. When you have 9 people murdered in church, a governor who has publicly agreed with your point of view, like responses from the President of the United States, persons on Capitol Hill, even Mitt Romney and Jeb Bush, now you know that's out of the ordinary. Walmart, eBay, celebrities, millions of people on social media, we have all the inspiration we need. Ain't nobody asked you to climb up no pole and get locked up for something that was already happening. It's not heroic, and God ain't told you to ignore countless legal options to go undermine the integrity of the law. The Bible says to know to do good and to do it not is sin. That implies choice, which implies options, which means you need to do the right thing before you do the wrong thing for what you think is a good cause. You want the flag down? We got protocol for that called a majority vote. The Greensboro 4 was out of options. Rosa Parks was out of options. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Muhammad Ali, out of options. In 2015, we have a plethora of options. Whew. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Won't have us out here getting arrested, throwing our futures away when we don't have to. And my Twitter handle's on the screen, same name I use for Instagram. My Facebook and email and all other contact information is in the description box. In the fight for justice, let's make sure we don't do things that ruin our abilities to gain power. You can do a lot more damage to racism as a free person than you can behind prison bars. This is the season of positioning. This is the season of takeover. This is the season where we gain control over positions and start making decisions. Can't do all that locked up. Use your head. But for real, let's go ahead and kill that flag. Also remember that ultimately the battle is the Lord's. I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least have the decency not to get caught. Sheesh.